welcome to a brand new series of Gladiators!
Back bigger, stronger and more fearless than ever.
As soon as I get my eyes on summer, we're going down.
I have a lot of internal rage.
Any more back chat and I'll put you out of the arena.
The atmosphere in the arena is electric.
Gladiators, the third brand new series. Saturdays from 5:45 p.m. only on Jackpot Button Lewis Productions. Australian Grand Prix live starts from Friday the 6th of March only on Jackpot Button Lewis Productions. And coming up next here on Jackpot Button Lewis Productions, it's full steam ahead and hold tight everyone as we're live from the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre in London as we join musical theatre fan and reviewer himself Jack Wright for the start of a brand new series of his theatre vlog review series of Theatregoing Revival as he sees the highly successful London production of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Adult Control. It's Sunday night, the 1st of March 2026, and it's race night, and we are live exclusively from the studios of Jackpot Button Lewis Productions and from the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre in Wembley, London. And welcome to the start of a brand new series and the Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express special of Theatregoing Revival. And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again, please welcome your host for tonight's show. He's obsessed with trains as much as musical theatre too, Mr. Jack Right! Hey! Thank you very much, everybody! Hello! I think it has been almost a year now, has it? Thank you! Thank you very much, everybody! Thank you! Wonderful welcome as always. Honestly, I've missed you all so much. It's great to be back, isn't it? Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, settle down. We've got a very exciting, of course, and we're going to go full steam ahead with this show very, very shortly. Thank you very much there, ladies and gentlemen, for that warm welcome, as always. And once again, what's up, everybody? And hello once again. My name is Jack Wright, known as Jackpot Button Lewis on YouTube, and welcome to the start of a brand new series of my theatre vlog review series of Theatregoing Revival. That's right, everybody. I am back after a year away from doing this series, and it's amazing to be back here once again. And just before we get underway with this edition of Theatregoing Revival, I would like to apologise for being absent from this series. I know that I've done this many a time on many of my episodes that I, sadly, if you may have seen from my previous announcement trailer that I did a few days ago in the lead up to, of course, this first episode, but also you got to have a chance also, if you have not seen the video yet, I highly recommend that you do after watching this program, of looking back on an incredible 10 years of doing this series. And from later on in this series, even though we're in the month now of March and into the season unbelievably of spring as of today also as well, it is to new beginnings and also seeing loads more incredible shows up and down the length and breadth of this country of the United Kingdom. And also as well, we have got an incredible show to talk about later on and very shortly here on the first edition of Theatregoing Revival, and starting unbelievably my 6th and also make that celebratory 10th year anniversary series as of of course later on this year in the month of November, would you believe. Of course we've got that to look forward to later on in the series and with the other shows that I've got planned. But before, like I said, we will get on with today's episode, we want to look back on, to make up for being away from this series from last year. I've still managed to get some B-roll and footage from shows that I previously went to see at the end of last year, and make that also as well. Around this time last year, I also was starting to see a few shows also that... ones that I never even heard of, but as soon as I got a chance to see them, I was been blown away by the incredible works of musical theatre that I've seen. And not to mention, as you can see, the t-shirt I'm wearing, the very first one that I saw from this time last year was Moulin Rouge the musical, which was based off the 2001 love romantic and musical jukebox musical film of the same name. And it was an amazing experience. I never saw the film originally, but to go in there, and of course it was very different to how it was in the original, of course, film that what it was based on. Directed by Baz Luhrmann, who also was responsible for bringing the likes of his modern adaptation of Romeo and Juliet as well. And he's done some amazing films over his career. But as well as that, we've also had the chance to see some more amazing shows that, especially mostly new, of course, ones that I'd never even heard of. And even though I've said that, of course, Moulin Rouge has already been out for a few years, but I'm talking about musicals that either just made their first ever appearance here in the UK, or have also been promoted in other parts of the world, or even in Europe. And we're going to take you a trip down memory lane now and look look back on a truly theatrical year, or that was 2025. As before we get underway with this edition of Theatregoing Revival, let's have a throwback to last year of 2025 and see the review and highlights of some of the shows that I got to cover, even though unfortunately I didn't manage to get many reviews out of them. But I could only apologise for not getting the time around to doing them. It's not to say that I was reluctant to do them. It was because of other things going on in my personal life outside of this series, which unfortunately I had no control with. But also, I've had problems also regarding the storage of my computer here as well. And at least for the first time now, I've also got an amazing large also hard drive, which is just here as well, which unbelievably is a 10 terabyte external hard drive, and this has been so useful for, of course, for the last few videos I've been making. And also as well, I've also invested in a brand new camera also of an Osmo pocket-free handheld camera, which also films at 4K quality. So even though if you may be seeing a grainy filter on this camera that I've been using, I've used this camera quite a lot for the last few years, and even when I first started the series, unbelievably 10 years ago. So I will be moving on with some new equipment later on in the year. But with that being said, we still have managed to suffice some footage that didn't make it into particular reviews from last year. So once again, here is a throwback and review of last year of 2025 and the last series, that being Series 5 of, once again, my theatre vlog review series of Theatregoing Revival. Like many years ago, we will rock you. Nicky Dyer Scott.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to come and when I found out your name was in this, I just thought I have to see you. I have to see you. So hopefully,
I love all of this. Someone said to me, someone's dressed up out there, and the effort is amazing.
Thank you. This was like a last minute thing because my friend Ella invited me to come and see you. Hi.
Well, guys, mind your backs on the road.
Yes, but I saw you in the audience as well.
I've even just told my dad as well. I mean, he's no. You would come and see the show as well. Can you start the program? Thank you so much, Craig.
You want a photo?
Yeah, do you want a? Hear ye, hear ye! All good, loyal royal subjects and loyalists of the country of Great Britain. Welcome to a very special edition of the Theatre Vlog series itself of Theatregoing Revival, a mystery and also birthday special edition episode. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for tonight's show, newly appointed Redcoat Army General of the country and nation of Great Britain and loyal right-hand man to His Majesty King George III of England and Great Britain, Mr. Jack Wright. Whoa, easy, easy. A very good horse you are. Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please, thank you. Could you take the flag? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure for me to be in presence of you all. Thank you. I weren't expecting this warm welcome. Thank you. I feel like I've definitely come back home to our beloved country itself of Great Britain. Well, thank you very much, my ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Jack Wright's theatre vlog series itself of Theatregoing Revival. I am in his presence, and I would like to acknowledge that sadly he can't be here as of this evening, but along with me being here in his place, I hope that you will look forward to one particular show that I will make an appearance in as of later on this episode. But also I'd like to acknowledge that one particular person in this particular episode is also celebrating a birthday later on in this show, and I would like to wish that particular person a happy 21st birthday. And hopefully I get the chance to see her later on, that being a lady, and she's coming to see one particular show that Jack will be covering from later on this evening. But anyway, I must now return back to my horse and return to the battlefield for another battle against those Yanks. And they honestly think they can fight this revolution and prove to us that they can take over where we used to previously have. They've got another thing coming. But I hope you all enjoy the rest of the programme, and I will see you later on in the show. Thank you very much. Farewell to you all. Farewell. General? Yes, I'm here. You're needed immediately at the next Battle of Yorktown. You need to be there, and that's an order. I'm on my way. Yeah! What on earth? Who was that? Did someone look just almost dress up like me here? Or did you honestly think it was me? Well, I don't know how long I managed to keep that going, but I think most of you got it anyway. Well, everybody, thank you very much for, of course, being a part of that little skit. And with that, hello, everybody! What's up, guys? It's me, Jack Wright here. Once again, you're very passionate and make that a very enthusiastic theatre fan. And welcome to, once again, another edition of my theatre vlog series itself of Theatregoing Revival. And just like that, through the hustle and bustle, as I now treat you to the very bustling and very busy streets of London's West End, here we are in the heart of the West End of London and just outside the Victoria Palace Theatre to go and see, for the second time in under 2 years, the West End production of Hamilton the Musical. And sorry about the footage we couldn't get from the Savoy Hotel earlier on, but I'm just meeting my friend Ella, who's just going to be joining me and coming dressed especially as Eliza Schuyler for the show, and I've had a few people come up to me just for photos, even dressed up as this, as garish as this outfit looks. It looks absolutely amazing, and of course it's wonderful to make it actually the first time that I'm seeing this, and the weather is a lot more drier and a lot more wetter than it was previously a few years ago. But without further ado, it's time to go and see for the second time and for the final time for his final performance as King George III, that being Joel, of course, Montague. Let's go and see as we have another edition of Theatregoing Revival as we go and see the West End production here at the Victoria Palace Theatre of Hamilton the Musical. Enjoy, everyone!
Hi! Enjoy the show. Do you want to do that one as well? This one? Thank you so much.
Planning to come to Gatsby as well.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, come along. It's going to be a right party for sure.
We'll get our tails ready.
Happy 21st!
Hey.
Thank you.
Hi Joel, long time no see.
It's better than my costume. I love it.
Well, honestly, it's
Do you
so
want it in gold or do you want it in this?
well, it's your choice, honestly.
I'll send it right. I'll send it sharp.
Alright, there you go. Thank you so much, Joel. You're amazing.
My absolute pleasure, mate. Thank you so much.
And you want to know something well, absolutely crazy that happened earlier on?
Go on.
I happened to bump into I think you might have known him, actually, when me and my friend Ella were coming out from the Savoy Hotel. Right. Guess who we met? Fellow King George, Michael Gibson.
Oh, amazing.
He noticed me in my costume and he came for a photo, and I was thinking, oh my God, I know who you are. You were the original person,
the OG.
and then you were the successor. So
Thank you very much. Yeah, he's amazing, mate. Oh, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
And this is going to be one exciting match, and I'm sure that all of you England football fans are ready for one exciting hour of an incredible match. And please welcome, we've got a brand new, of course, addition to the England football team as of this evening, and he's now been newly appointed new captain since there has been a recent injury to the recent one of Harry Kane, and he's about to come out and greet you all right now. Please give a huge welcome to the one and only, nicknamed Jackpot himself. He is Mr. Jackpot Right! Thank you very much, everybody! Oh! 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 Go on, let's hear you sing. You should know this song. That's it. Come on, let's hear you chant. Feel like you're here at Wembley Stadium. Come on. On the whistle, I want you to chant. Ready? Thank you very much. Thank you, please. Oh, I started you all off, didn't I? Thank you very much, everybody. Please settle down. We, of course, have got a very exciting 90 minutes ahead, and it's not just all about the sport itself. Oh, cameraman, you're going to catch this? Here we go. I'm going to head it to you. Whoop. Whoa! Oh, goodness me, at least I didn't break anything there. I looked like I was going to break something. That was a good header, though. Brilliant. Well caught there, cameraman. Well, with that being said, hello, everybody! What's up, guys? As always, my name is Jack Wright, also nicknamed Jackpot, of course, as we heard there. And thank you very much to, of course, Sam Matterface there of ITV Sport for the very appropriate themed, of course, voiceover at the top of the show. And with that quick transition, here we are outside of more specifically the National Theatre, here for the 2025 rewritten play production revival of, that is, James Graham's Dear England. and as you can see, I've made a quick change out of my, of course, nod to a very famous, of course, England football player, that being Jack Grealish. As you can see, I am dressed up as him as he were to play during the Euro 2020 tournament, when he was a big asset for the team, especially when he was playing against the likes of Captain Harry Kane, and also make that Raheem Sterling, also who scored the 2 vital goals against Germany in the knockout round of 16 in that particular tournament. But we're just outside of the theatre here, and of course, as you can see by these incredible reviews, there's been 5 stars by the Daily Telegraph, the whatsonstage.com, and also the back of the net winner says the newspaper, also the Times saying 5 stars there, also 4 stars, my apologies there, and the Evening Standard newspaper and the Observer, and also Time Out magazine. And it's wonderful to see this play back, and especially after what happened from the last Euros from the summer of make that last year of 2024. But I can honestly be any more excited to be seeing this again. And I know that there has been a change to the cast, as I mentioned earlier on in the programme, but I'm really looking forward to it. So without further ado, live and exclusively here on YouTube from Jackpot Button Lewis Sport Productions, and make that even my, of course, my original production company of Jackpot Button Lewis Productions. It's time to see the 2025 play revival production of Dear England by James Graham, here from the National Theatre, and more specifically from the Olivier Theatre here in London's West End. Let's go and see it. Come on, England! Happy Wednesday, the 23rd of April, and the patron saint day of St. George, covering another famous work of the famous playwright himself, of William Shakespeare. And now, ladies and gentlemen, and my own leaf cousins, please welcome your host for tonight's show, a future actor and enthusiast of the works of William Shakespeare, portraying the patron saint of England himself, of St. George. Please welcome Mr. Jack Wright. Yeah! Whoa! Easy, easy. Very good. Well taken, my friend. My fellow good noble steed. Thank you! God bless you all! Thank you! Thank you very much! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen! Greetings, friends, Romans, countrymen, and lend me your ears. Well, that may be Julius Caesar, but thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much, please. I do not deserve it. Thank you very much, everybody. And with that, greetings, my fellow Shakespeare and also theatre enthusiast. It is me, Jack Wright, also known as Jackpot Button Lewis on YouTube, and welcome to another edition of Theatregoing Revival, and another edition all to do with the famous works of the famous beloved playwright himself, of William Shakespeare. And I am very, of course, excited to announce that, as you might be wondering, why, of course, I happen to be dressed up in a very interesting way, and this is, of course, my modern take on the very famous patron saint himself of St. George, as of because today marks the official patron saint day of himself, as being also the patron saint of our happy and glorious country of England. Just like that it is also on my shield here, very appropriately. And just like that, here I am against the famous landmark itself of Tower Bridge here in the, make that unbelievably, the southeast part of London. And I am, of course, now unbelievably changed from being the famous English king himself of Henry V. And we are just on the embankment part here of London, and just adjacent to me, behind the camera where my dad is filming right now, we are here to go and see the highly anticipated and highly acclaimed Shakespeare production of that being Richard II from the Bridge Theatre here in London. So let's have a look and see this incredible production that is about to happen, and let me tell you, it is something I've been really looking forward to since, of course, as of today, is St. George's Day, the patron saint of England himself. Let's go and see it once again for Cry God, Harry, England and St. George.
Yeah.
This is Thursday, the 8th of August 2025. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome your host for tonight's and evening's performance. Performing the first part of Allegro from Mozart's Ein klein Nachtmusik with the Academy of St. Martin's in the Fields Orchestra, please welcome Jack Wright. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Okay. All right, settle down. I know that it's a little bit more different to what you'd expect, but thank you very much, as always, for that wonderful welcome, ladies and gentlemen, as always. And hello, everybody! What's up, guys? It's me, your one and only #1 theatre enthusiast of Jack Wright here, and welcome to another edition of my theatre blog series, as always titled Theatregoing Revival. And just like that, here I am, of course, in a quick costume change as well, and outside of the very familiar, that is the other palace here, just off Buckingham Palace here in the off-west end, of course, of London here for the UK premiere production of, once again, Saving Mozart. As you can see, I've all dressed up for the occasion. It's wonderful to be back here at this amazing theatre, and it's amazing to that the last time I was here was actually for the short-lived run of Cake from of Marie Antoinette playlist, which Paul Taylor Mills done here over almost a year ago. But it's good to know that this show is obviously has done a lot more better than that has. So I'm really excited for this as well, especially with the cast list as we saw earlier on, with Amy Atkinson, Luke, of course Jordan Gadge, and also Erin Cordwell in there, and we actually briefly saw them as we just arrived a few hours ago to see the show. But even though it is slightly breezy out here, it's still very nice and dry out here on this beautiful summer evening here in London, and it's almost time for us to travel back to the 17th century in Austria for the remarkable real-life story of how four, of course, women in the family of Wolfgang Mozart's family changed his life forever and helped him to become the famous classical musical composer himself, of course, after many decades later, or maybe even centuries, since of course we're going back to the 17th century with the show. So without further ado, it's time for us to go and see what is all, of course, what's so good about this show, as once again here on Theatregoing Revival we are seeing once again the UK premiere of Saving Mozart here from the Other Palace in London. Hope you enjoyed the show, everybody. Oh, well, she was being very mischievous there, of course, Sydney Christmas, for, of course, once again playing Cruella de Vil in, once again, 101 Dalmatians, the musical, at the Everton Apollo in the West End of London. And with that being said, with that transition, we are now currently, I'm actually inside the Blacks Road car park, just in Hammersmith here, outside, and just a mile away from, of of course, the entrance to the theatre, and I'm just waiting for my mum and dad and my sister Hannah just to finish off, of course, joining me, because there's not much parking around this area of London to get to the theatre. So, but I'm really excited to finally get to see this show. There's been a lot of course, hype about this show, and it's going to be the most. It's going to definitely be well worth the wait. So join me very shortly when we go and see, of course, it here on this edition of Theatregoing Revival, as once again as we see 101 Dalmatians the musical from the Everton Apollo Theatre in the West End of London.
Oh, it's too hot.
It's true. No, that's fair enough, mate.
Well, what about you wearing leather and everything? How have you managed to survive in that?
No. Leather's not new to me.
Can I get a photo as well?
Yes, sweetheart. Yes.
Do you mind if I take a picture of you?
And with that quick transition, here I am in the very busy city. It has to be on quite the overcast but also chilly autumn evening here in, once again, the city of Nottingham. And we're just outside, as you can see, of course, the Norwich, let's make that Nottingham, sorry. Of course, I'm so used to going to Norwich as my local theatre, but this is the first time I've actually been here to the Nottingham Theatre Royal for Here and Now, the Steps Musical UK Tour 2025-2026. And as you can see, I'm also in my full, of course, make that hybrid version of my, of course, supermarket worker employee costume of Better Best Bargains. Of course, I've got an additional staff badge as well, which was made especially from which I just got from earlier on from just a few weeks ago. And also I've got my own gilet with personalised of course badges, and also got one here and a tabard. And I've also just bought the recent pin set, also with the show's logo, and also with Take a Chance at a Happy Ending slogan from it, as well as what you saw earlier on in the programme for what I did wear. But I can't believe that, don't worry everybody, I'm not on by myself. I'm with my dad, who's just inside coming out from the cold, and we of course are just under half an hour until of course as I nearly get run over by a road sweeper. But you can tell it's very, very busy here in the city centre as of today. But I'm really excited to see this show back after a successful, of course, gala night that we went to over a year ago from this month of November at the Alexandra Theatre in Birmingham. There has been a few changes to the cast since that previous show, and sadly I have heard that Finity Williams, playing the role of Patricia, is not on today, but an ensemble member is going to be in her place, as well as also Blake Patrick Anderson playing the role of Robbie also too. But with that being said, here on Theatregoing Revival, let's go and see the UK Touring 2025-2026 production here from the Nottingham Theatre Royal of Here and Now, the Steps Musical. Amazing. I know it's been a long time since I've done one of these, but I am throwing everything at it like I've done in previous years. Yes, I'm sorry. I know I can't help being not here a lot more often than you would have wanted me to. I've been so busy this year. I've been doing volunteering work, I've been seeing so many different shows to cover on this particular episode, and now to even throw in a Christmas pantomime right at the end of it as well? I have had no time to rest. I've been working seriously hard, even on other projects also on my YouTube channel. Honestly, I know I've been in this situation once before with you, but you know what I do always. I never let anyone down regardless of what I do. I always want them to be the best they can be. And I know I could have done more reviews this year, but it's just been one quite chaotic year for me. And I have done more things than ever before in previous years. So to bring this back at the time of Christmas couldn't be any more appropriate. Give me another chance. You know I would not normally want to, of course, beg you for this normally. But I would do absolutely anything to get this video up and also this series back up again. It's something that I cherish and love with so much heart, especially since it marked its 5th anniversary from almost a few years ago. And now, unbelievably, it'll be almost 10 years since I first did the series. So this couldn't be any more appropriate. I haven't reached my peak yet. And this show will only continue to grow and get better and better than ever it has been done in previous years. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate you letting me do this. It's something that is in my blood and it's in my heart and it always will be. This will be the best Christmas special edition of Theatregoing Revival that you've ever seen so far in the whole of this program's and series existence. Alright. Thank you very much. And I've already got a ticket sorted for you for of course, the pantomime that we're seeing as well. And I tell you, it is going to be worth every single penny and pound that ticket is as well. Thank you very much. It's Christmas after all, so we don't need to hold a grudge over each other. Let's enjoy it for what it is. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you at the show. Take care. Bye. Oh, it gets harder and harder every single year. It doesn't seem to be no let-off, but how we're managing to do this, what are we going to try and do to just try and keep this going? It's not like I can't do it, but man, I don't make it easy for myself, do I? Oh my goodness me. But never fear, everybody, it's time for one of the biggest, of course, events of the year, and also the visit to the traditional and annual family Christmas pantomime, all on this very exciting and long-awaited festive edition of my Theatre Vlog series. As welcome, everybody, to the Theatregoing Revival Christmas Special 2025. Roll the titles. Hey, hey! Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everybody! Thank you! Thank you so much! Merry Christmas, everybody! You know this song? Colour My World from Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. A classic panto song from a very popular theatre company that I know well. Are you ready to sing along? Let me hear you! Here we go! All the way. Merry Christmas, everyone! Thank you! Thank you very much! Do you like the suit? I've had a little change since you last wore it. Thank you very much, everybody! Please! Alright! Oh my goodness me! I feel like you've had a bit too much eggnog or on the whiskey or whatever, but thank you very much. Please settle down. We have got a great show lined up for this, and it's welcome, and I couldn't be any more welcome to be, of course, welcomed in the way that you have done exactly that. And with that, Merry Christmas, everyone! Hi, everybody. What's up, guys? My name is Jack Wright, also known as Jackpot Button Lewis on YouTube, and welcome to the long-awaited Theatregoing Revival Christmas special episode of 2025!
And mine.
It's one of those shows tonight, so no, that's okay. Don't worry. It's just not very lots of fancy this evening. Just needed to check if you were.
That's all right. And just like that, here we are, everybody, at the Maltings in Ely, East Cambridgeshire, for once again the annual Christmas pantomime production from KD Theatre Productions of Jack and the Beanstalk. As you can hear, of course, I'm currently in one of the corridors just outside the auditorium, and I'm no stranger to this place because I've been here for quite a few events from over this year, this past year, not to mention Boogie Nights, but also I'm going to be back here performing with also Campaign Amateur Theatre with their production of Evita from next May in the new year of 2026. But we're just under 15 minutes away until the show gets underway, and I'm really excited for this. As you saw, the branding, as we showed you in the footage earlier on in, of course, this programme and this episode of Theatregoing Revival. It's wonderful every single year that KD Theatre Productions come here every year, and it's amazing as always to now actually see one of their pantomimes, Christmas family pantomimes, now for the 8th year running, which is absolutely crazy. But I've always been a proud supporter of Catherine and Daniel's theatre group, and I'll always will be. We always come here every single year, and we've also requested a shout out, so we'll also be able to get that on camera hopefully later on in the show. But with that being said, as the audience are just making their way into the auditorium as we showed you earlier on, but now it's time to see here on the Theatregoing Revival Christmas Special 2025, as we see the annual Christmas family pantomime production of Jack and the Beanstalk from KD Theatre Productions, here from the Maltings in Ely, East Cambridgeshire. Hope you enjoyed the show, everybody. So everybody, we are now into the interval of, once again, KD Theatre Pantomime's Christmas annual pantomime production of Jack and the Beanstalk here from the Maltings in Ely, and oh my goodness, it has been absolutely incredible. We've just heard an amazing cover of the classic song from the musical of Wicked, that being Defying Gravity, and very appropriate obviously, because since it's one of the big movie musicals that was very popular at the end of this time last year, and as well with also the release of Wicked for Good as well. But there were loads of great little gags also in there, I bet in the number of 6 and 7, and not to mention even a little nod dig at some quite well-known figures from the political world as well, being Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves. But it's been absolutely amazing. Fortunately enough, I haven't been lucky enough to be the panto victim this year, but I've just met the person who's doing that right now, and he was a lovely chap. If you we managed to get footage of him from earlier on in the show. But it's wonderful to get the opportunity to see this panto. I mean, the cast has been absolutely amazing. The songs have been incredible. There's also a bit of Let Me Entertain You from Robbie Williams. There was also, I think, a bit of... I think it was Could It Be Magic also from Take That, and also kicking off the show in fine style with a bit of I think it was Colour My World, which I do remember was used in the very first time that Jack and the Beanstalk was done here. But there's been some loads of surprises all the way through the first act, and it's been absolutely amazing so far. So with the second act to look forward to, and also with a shout out planned also very soon as well. Of course, there's still lots to look forward to. So let's move on to Act 2 of this year's Christmas annual pantomime from KD Theatre Productions of Jack and the Beanstalk, here from the Maltings in Ely, Cambridgeshire.
Well done, that was brilliant. 10 out of 10 for comedy value, I'll give you that, was absolutely brilliant. Have you been rehearsing at home or?
We've been rehearsing for the last, we were rehearsing in our hotel room last night, unbelievably. And we were so nervous because we didn't know where the judges were going to be, on the left side of the stage or the right side of the stage. But no, it's been absolutely, and we've worked so hard with this entry this year. I mean, this is the most that we've ever done, and also this is my first time having my mum coming here as well.
Oh, Jackie, well done!
It's the first time that she's ever played a man in her life, and being my son, but No, it's been an absolute honour. This is my third time, I think, competing, but first time as a group. And I know you, Idris, have been a huge supporter, and I absolutely
have to say, Jack comes every year, and I'm going to be completely honest, this is your best one yet, Jack! You killed that! I'm so proud of you, honestly. He is amazing, and your commitment every single year is absolutely mind-blowing, so congratulations.
I need to know, where are these props? Do you bring them in the car, or do you carry them on the tube?
Well, we actually carried them in the car, and we actually both worked together to make absolutely everything. So, the microphone, that was just a cardboard box, the television, the books that I just used, the actual ones mentioned from the authors in the song as well. So, there was Moby Dick there, and also Ulysses, and Henry V for William Shakespeare. So, a lot of effort has gone into this, as you can tell.
Well, it shows. So, honestly, congratulations and good luck. Well done. Make some noise. I was right, Jack and Samantha, right? Well done, guys. Right, last but not least, we have a glitzy lip sync.
Alright, so this was a very, very tough one because as you've seen, the competition has been really, really stiff. But I am proud to announce for the first time, and I'm sure it won't be the last, the winner of the Lip Sync Battle 2025. Give it up for Jack Wright!
Our mother and son couple! Take it back! Please keep your applause going for everyone who took part this year in our musical lip sync battle! Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, huge congratulations to everybody. Have you all had a lovely day? Get out there and mingle with some of our musical con fans. They're all desperate to see you. Thank you all so much for coming. Keep your applause going! Thank you as well to our judges, Glenn Adams, Idris Cardwell, and Jay Perry. We'll see you again, guys, soon.
Well, you can see why I unfortunately couldn't make any reviews there. There was quite a lot of B-roll footage that we showed you just there of from a review and throwback to last year's series of Series 5 of Theatregoing Revival. But there were some brilliant moments in there, and not to mention, of course, even though we didn't cover the event from last year for its 4th year of at the Excel Centre in London of MusicalCon, one of my proudest achievements, as you did see there, seeing myself and also my mum Samantha Wright. We were both Mr. Harry Wormwood and Mr. Michael Wormwood, the characters from Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical, and we sang Telly from Roald Dahl's Matilda Musical for the lip sync battle competition. And after 3 years of competing myself, I finally got to win it, the competition, and it was still one of my proudest achievements today. I still also, even though I haven't got it to hand, I know I've also got a wonderful picture in a frame from last Christmas as a Christmas gift, as a memory of the moment when my name was announced for being the winner. But I also do happen to have, of course, this unbelievably, I've managed to keep one of the props from the very performance, and as you can see right here, I've been actually putting it in this plastic wrapping to make sure it doesn't get damaged, just in case if we get invited to perform back there again from later on this year in October, and as the current champions. This is the prop television set that we used, which I didn't just make myself, but also my mum Samantha helped me out, and we worked hard to make this out of a cardboard box, and as I said, our own television set, as you can see. Which has got a few knobs on there, and also the test card, the very famous test card F, which I'm sure you may be familiar with if you grew up in the late, I think it was 80s when it was first used. with the girl and the clown playing noughts and crosses there. But also we've branded it also with Musical Con 2025 Lip Sync Battle, as normally, because that's where the channel, when they used to show the test card of when it would be broadcasting from, when any channel is finished any broadcast. So, but it's still amazing to still have the props still with me. I've also still got the microphone as well. But we didn't win any particular trophy or anything for the competition, but I do actually have a proper microphone trophy, which had a microphone in its hand, which was a golden microphone held in her hand. And I haven't got it with me, but like I said before, that is something that I will be putting on the television set for if we get invited to perform back there later on this year, like I said, in October, where unbelievably it also will be celebrating its 5th anniversary since it started back in 2022. And the convention has been so popular over the last few years, and especially last year in particular, with one particular group of people also cosplaying some very familiar characters, and sticking of course with, as you know, this series loosely being inspired by the title film name of Train Spotting, and we had the sound of and the theming of trains being a big part of the series over the last 10 years or so. As we go straight on to this edition of Theatregoing Revival, and on today on Theatregoing Revival we are going to do exactly that, review a musical work which involves trains all competing against each other, and it all due to the success of it, and also where all the performers perform on rails, of course roller skates for that matter, and also compete against each other in quite the unique version of a skate park, it may add, of course, to be said there. As here on Theatregoing Revival, I am seeing the highly successful London production from the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express.
This is Control. Tonight is race night.
Rolling stock, rolling stock. See me hustle, feel my muscle, pumping iron, stretching my workout. Starlight Express, are you real? Yes or no?
Yes, there you go, everybody, and what a bright and colourful trailer that we just had there. And once again, that was the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre trailer of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express there, which unbelievably has been performed there for unbelievably the last 2 years. And we also had quite some sad news that right at the beginning of this year in particular, of 2026, that come this month of May, it will unfortunately be closing after its 2-year run, due to its incredible success though, at, once again with winning a Laurence Olivier Award for Best Costume Design, and from Gabriella Slade, who's had no, of course, stranger to working on some incredible costumes in the world of musical theatre, especially working on the characters of the Queens in Six the Musical, the original West End production of that. But for the first time, I think actually, as I get my phone here, this is, I think, the last time that it was performed unbelievably in London was back in 2017, so it was almost a good few years after or before the pandemic of COVID-19 broke out, and I know that due to the success of this show, it's amazingly has now become the 10th longest running show in the West End as of right now of this year, and with 7,409 performances. It's the most successful musical work to be performed in Germany, where it's been performed in a purpose-built theatre since the year of 1988, and holding the Guinness World Record for most visitors at a musical in one particular theatre, which is absolutely amazing to hear that. And originally, this musical was first written by, once again, the legendary Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber, and also with lyrics written by Richard Stilgoe. And just to remind you, as you did actually see from the footage we had there, and some of the famous songs that I'm sure most of you are familiar with, even though I wasn't even born, of course. This was 10 years before I was born, in the year of 1994, and this came out 10 years beforehand in 1984, and it tells the story of a young but obsolete steam engine called Rusty that races in a championship against modern locomotives of both diesel and electric trains in the hope of impressing a first-class observation car called Pearl. And once again, to remind you, as I've said, all of the performers in the show who play these characters in the world of this particular musical all perform on roller skates. It's, I think, the only musical work to actually have all of the performers do that. And it's very interesting to know that the very first time that this idea of the musical first came about, Andrew Lloyd Webber approached the author of Reverend W. Awdry about adapting his book series of the Railway series, which then shortly after became Thomas the Tank Engine as an animated TV series. And following the meeting, Lloyd Webber started composing with actor and children's TV writer Peter Reeves, contributing lyrics alongside the artist of Brian Cosgrove animating for it, and they pitched their material to Granada TV, and when they commissioned a pilot episode, it was completed in early 1976, so unbelievably 50 years ago to this year. But unfortunately, Granada Television ultimately decided not to produce a full series, as they feared that Awdry's stories were not then popular enough outside of the UK to justify investing the time and money needed to make the series. And ironically, as I mentioned before, Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends series then premiered 7 months after the when Starlight Express, and became highly successful. It was one of many of children's programs I grew up with, and funny enough, I think that's the particular series that got me really obsessed with trains. And then again, also my late grandma, of course, Esther Armstrong, with her late husband, who's still with us, of course, my granddad, George Armstrong. They used to travel down a lot on trains, when they used to live a lot more further away from us. There was a time when they were living locally to where I was originally living in Ely, after being born in Cambridge, then to Soham, then shortly after to Ely, and then I've been here at Littleport ever since. But slightly going off topic, I know that, but it's interesting to know that I won't go too much in detail of how the idea came about, but it is quite amazing that it properly began production again in 1981, and then Richard Stilgoe, the lyricist, helped him revise the idea of revive the idea of it as a concert for schools, and in the style of the breakthrough musical that also from Andrew Lloyd Webber himself, of Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. So, and it's incredible that loads of other familiar faces, the likes of Arlene Phillips, who was choreographer, who once again was a former judge on Strictly Come Dancing, also had involvement in this with the designer of John Napier, and also the very first act of Starlight Express a few years later in 1983 was also workshopped by Trevor Nunn and also Arlene Phillips, with a cast that also involved the comedian of Tracy Ullman as well, if any of you are interested there. But based on the workshop success after that, of around that same time, it then opened in the West End in March 1984. So it's so funny that 50 years ago this month, unbelievably, was the premiere of when it was first performed in the West End. And I think also, if I can quickly have a look here, it first opened at the Apollo Victoria Theatre, once again directed by Trevor Nunn, and it's the theatre where currently Wicked is at the moment. And that's kind of funny because I did actually cover Wicked for its 10th anniversary from 10 years ago, as of this year, from in 2016. But unfortunately, I didn't have time to, unfortunately, make a review out of that. And but it was performing there until 2002, and then once again Wicked has played at the venue since the 27th of September 2006. So later on this year, come that month, it will be marking its 20th anniversary. So very exciting to hear that as well. But once again, slightly going off topic there, and I know that this is once again a brand new work that but I'm no stranger to the works of Andrew Lloyd Webber. I've had the pleasure of seeing the likes of the musicals of Phantom of the Opera. I've yet to see Joseph, but I have actually seen the I think it was the television film made back in 1999, and I saw that around of the COVID-19 pandemic, which unbelievably inspired one of my I think it was my doorstep performances of the coronavirus lockdown sing-along performances back in the year of 2021, and I did one all dedicated to that work. But and also I'm familiar with the work of Evita as well, of the Argentine of course, political figure of Eva Peron, which unbelievably, if I have not mentioned from my previous video, also on my bumper channel video update, I can confirm that I'm currently in rehearsals with Ely Theatre Company, and we're going to be performing the show from later on in the month of May, on the first week of May, come on, I think it was the 7th to the 8th, to the 10th, sorry, I was going to say, because we've had an additional 5th performance put in there, and I am covering the role of Agustin Magaldi, which is the tango singer who first met Ava Duarte when she was young. Even though I initially missed out on the role due to someone else getting it. But unfortunately, because of a commitment to another Andrew Lloyd Webber work of Jesus Christ Superstar, a production that they're doing in Bury St Edmunds, that has given me the chance to step in for the performer of Jack Barry, who I knew from the Little Port Players, who I've performed with him on many occasions before the pandemic first hit. So, but once again, slightly going off topic once again, I'm pleased to announce about that. I hope to announce as of today, the tickets do go on sale for that production, and if you are interested in wanting to be a part of the production, you can once again book your tickets right now by going to the website just below on the screen, down below, and it is at ticketsource.co.uk, and you have to search up CAT Ely together as an acronym, even though Campaign Amateur Theatre is now the old name for the theatre group, because we've gone through a recent name change. It was confirmed from the committee which I am on that we're now going to be known as Ely Theatre Company, but to improve our recognition locally within the area. And we've got loads of big shows, not just doing Evita from later on this year, but also we've got talks of other shows going on, and loads of social events as well. We're starting to do more fundraising, which is going to cover the costs of these big scale musicals, and especially when you're doing anything from Andrew Lloyd Webber, it is going to be quite expensive, and we're going to have to work seriously hard make up for that. But I know it's been a very popular show. We initially was going to cover that from last year, but tickets sold out instantly with the production that the amazing American singer and actress of Rachel Zegler playing the title role of Ava herself, and also Diego Costa Rodriguez playing the role of Che, the narrator, and it was such an amazing show. It was a highlight of last year, directed by Jamie Lloyd, who was responsible for the revival of Sunset Boulevard, which swept the awards from last year at the What's on Stage Awards. And I'll make that 2 years ago, actually, my apologies. But it was amazing to see how successful that show went on, especially it had an amazing run on Broadway from the end of last year, and it's also going to go down the same way for Evita as well, so that's quite exciting to hear that. But anyway, like I said before, I know I've gone off topic there with things outside of the series. Let's get straight back to business and talk about Starlight Express. And with, of course, this production, I am really excited to see this, because I first knew about it in documentaries about the history of musical theatre, and even though when it first came out it was one of those, like, unsure musicals that people would it would appeal to, but over the years it's amazing how the revival production of this show in previous in of course previous years over the 2020s has been incredibly popular among loads of people who have been a part of the Starlight fandom, and they've been heavily inspired with the incredible costume design work of Gabriella Slade to make their own costumes as well, and I hope to get to meet some people that have had some influence later on in this particular episode. So with that being said, I've also got a costume planned, but I'm going to keep it hush-hush at the moment, but you'll be joining me very shortly where I'll be transforming into an original, of course, character that I thought of through my creative process of cosplay, and you will let's go straight now to the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre in London as we go and see the successful London production of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express. Here's what happened from earlier on as of today.
And just like that, here we are, everybody, as I'm just currently here at the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre in a very flashy outfit. Of course, this is my own take on an original character of Starlight Express with my own tracksuit, and which is all mirrorball patterned, and of course light up sunglasses. And fortunately, due to distractions maybe for the cast when we see the show, I'll have to turn the lights off on my glasses and my shoes. And that's unbelievably the second time that's happened since I last went to see, I think it was ABBA Voyage last year at the ABBA Arena. but we are just under 45 minutes away from seeing the show, and it can't be any more exciting. It's going to be really awesome, and I have waited a long time to finally see the show. So once again here at the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre, let's see Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express. Let's go full steam ahead.
that was a good timing with the landing as well. Well, there you go, everybody. As you just saw there, that is all the footage I got there from Andrew Lloyd Webber's London production of that being Starlight Express. And I was just about to say something else there, but no, of course, I was just about to mention how incredible this production was. And if you are wondering why, of course, I've got this outfit on, I forgot to show you this from earlier on in the video. The reason why is because, unfortunately, due to the not allowed to have any sort of video recording equipment inside the theatre, unfortunately I had to give in my camera recorder to the security into the cloakroom of the theatre. But I had to resort to filming on my phone instead, which, even though I haven't got with me, I got still a load of footage, and especially after that amazing last, one of the last songs in the show of Light at the End of the Tunnel, performed by the incredible Jade Marvin as the role of Mama, and the incredible cast from, once again, of Starlight Express. I mean, where can I start with this? Before I do, I just want to say that this costume that I decided to get, this was based off an original idea, cosplayer idea I had if I were to be a character from the very same show of that being Starlight Express, and I would have been called DJ the Disco Carriage because of the mirror ball pattern on my tracksuit, and also with the light up shoes. I may not have, of course, roller skates like the cast did have, as well as some very, of course, bejazzled pair of headphones as well, and I did have some light up sunglasses that you may saw me from earlier on in, of course, the episode, but unfortunately I didn't want to wear them because I'd literally had to have the cable that was connected to them was underneath, of course, had to go underneath my coat, and of course a shirt that is underneath this as well, which unbelievably, as of before I saw the show, I also got the official show t-shirt as well with the logo and the incredible art design of the show, just like with the logo that I've got here also on my computer screen. And I do apologise for not putting this up earlier on in the episode, and that's because I completely forgot to do that from the earlier part in this episode. But like I said, let's get straight on to trying to be as brief as possible, because I know that this episode hopefully won't go on for too long here, and I know that we've had a lot in this brand new edition and brand new start of the sixth series of once again Theatregoing Revival. And let's once again talk about the London production at the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express. And where can I start, honestly? From the footage that you did see earlier on, we had an amazing bit of set design with the whole, of course, universe of the story, with loads of semaphore lights and crossings and signal, of course, boxes as well. Loads of lights as well that were, of course, glowing, with loads of neon all over, of course, the complete set. And as you did actually see, there was an actual track that you could walk through to get to your seat, and we were unbelievably first class in the second carriage of the AA row, and we were right at the front of course, of everyone who was watching the show, and that's why we you could see all of the performers be that close to us when it came to the mega mix at the end. But it was absolutely incredible. As I've not mentioned already, here is the incredibly beautifully designed program of the very same show, which also has got a beautiful sparkly effect with which is a modernization of the old design of the original work. And also on the back it says "The race is on," with one of the famous lines said by the character of Control. And just to remind you, as I quickly have a look at the programme, we've got an amazing timeline that shows you all about the history of how the, of course, the musical first came about. And also we've got some amazing pictures also of the production itself, and also interviews from the director of Luke Sheppard, and also the choreographer Ashley Nottingham as well. And we've got all of the individual characters as well, such as and also costume design ideas. Of course, the early concept sketches from Gabriella Slade, who, once again, as I mentioned earlier on the programme, was responsible for designing the Queen's costumes for the very royal musical of Six the Musical. So we've got some designs there of the electric engine, Electra. We've got, as I said, of also Mama, one of the steam engines, and that being mum to, of course, the mother figure to Rusty. We also got a grease ball there for the first time in the whole history of the production. Was played by a young woman instead of a man normally from the original there. And also Dina the dining car, once again Rusty, and also Belle the first passenger, first class passenger viewer coach is there as well. And we can also have a quick look at also the amazing cast that also were part of this very production. And we had the amazing Gavin Adams playing the role of Rusty. We had, I think for me personally, one of my favourites from the performance that we saw from earlier on today of Olivia Ringrose playing the role of Greaseball as well. Sophie Naglick was the role of Pearl, played the role of that as well. And I also got a chance to meet her, of course. And we would also like to remind you, also, unfortunately, there was not many people that came out after the show, and this is due to the matinee performance, but amazingly two of the super swings were on at the time. Sheridan played the role of Electra, who is assistant skate captain and swing on the show, along with Scott Hayward, who also played I think it was Golden Eagle. There we go, that was the role there, normally played by Ewan James, but unfortunately he was having a show off there. But there were some very familiar people that I was aware of in this particular cast. We had Nicole Louise Lewis, who I saw a few years ago play the role of Catherine of Aragon in the 5 years anniversary UK and Ireland tour of Six the Musical. And also, unbelievably, just coming fresh from playing the role also of Catherine of Aragon, also in Six the Musical, we also had Jade Marvin, who played Mama there. And we also have the likes, as well as we also have Georgia Pemberton playing Dina, Tamara Verhoeven as Clyde, as Belle, and also Nikki Wong Rush as Tacita, the silent coach, and also Jaden Vidgen also playing the role of Hydra, who represented Hydrogen Power, who became a very close friend and supporter of the helping Rusty the steam engine in the final race, which were amazingly choreographed in the whole show. And I know that I've only just briefly skimmed reading through this, and it's such a beautiful program, so it's going to take me a while to actually have a good read of it. But as I've said already, that is the program as well. And as you can also see, as I've just mentioned as well, unfortunately, in just a few months' time, come the unbelievably the 3rd of May, will mark the final performance and final boarding call for the current London production of the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express. It's gone on to be a very successful revival production, and it also won a Laurence Olivier Award for Gabriella's costume designs as well, and it was also very popular among people who went to see it when it came back from just a few years ago, back in 2024, to mark its 40th anniversary. And it's amazing that for such an old musical to still be going at this time as well is still unbelievable. So, yeah, to be fair, I mean, there was really nothing that much to it, really. I mean, I don't want to give away anything in particular if some of you that might be watching this right now that you may not have seen it yet. But all I can say is I definitely, as I can go straight on to my show rating, the first one of my brand new celebratory 10th year anniversary series, and make that 6th series also a Theatregoing revival. And once again, to clarify, the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre London production of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express. My show rating for this particular production gets, without a doubt, it has to be said, a 5 stars, and also a highly recommend it. And make that also a first class also, I think, to be how I would rate one of the very first shows that I covered from over 10 years ago, and that being an off West End production of The Last 5 Years starring Jonathan Bailey and Samantha Parks, and that was my old highest rating that I would have first class to say how good it was. But no, as I've said before, the overall set design to the costumes, the music, I mean, the music alone, as we will be at the end of this episode having an amazing play out of all of the songs, a medley of some of the songs from this show. It was just incredible to listen to. And even though we had speakers right in front where we were sitting in, of course, the theatre from earlier on in the episode, it was still incredible. The balance between sound was very well controlled, and also there was quite a lot of theatrical haze and smoke being used as well. The very cool special effects with the smoking or steaming backpack to indicate or showing off steam at the back of Rusty there as well, and being used for some of the big songs, especially with Gavin, of course, singing the title song, Starlight Express. And let me tell you, I definitely had a moment for... I actually heard the original version that was sung by the original Rusty. I think his name was Rick Hall, I think, from America. And over 40 years ago, from make that from 2 years before to mark the 40th anniversary of this very particular show, when it first was performed in the West End, was incredible. And I feel like that once again Sean has done an impressive variation or modern take on the song, and it was one of my favourite songs from the whole of the other songs in the show. But there were so many to pick out, and as I said before, I mean, for standout roles, like with of course with the role of Dina there, and also and Greaseball. I mean, I can tell you what, I mean, and it's crazy to think, I also just found out once again with the actress who was, if I can just remember her name, as I can quickly just get it up here. As I also clear my throat, yeah, Olivia Ringrose. That is unbelievably her first ever professional musical theatre debut, and what a great way to, of course, mark her debut as a performer, being a part of that production. And it's a real shame that unfortunately I couldn't see her at stage door, but by the time I already was at stage door, which from the footage we saw as we were walking to the theatre, if you did not know already, stage door is basically outside of the theatre, and it's also at the same entrance where the cast and crew normally go through when they, of course, are off in their downtime between shows. And unfortunately she was just about to walk over the other side of the road, and so basically she literally made a mad dash getting out of makeup and getting some food to eat, because literally it was because of the high energy in this production. It you know, they didn't have much time to get some food in, of course, to keep themselves hunger free for the next show. And it's crazy to think that they also did another show shortly after that from 5 o'clock onwards, but we got to see it from 1 o'clock from earlier on today as of filming this. But Once again, it was an amazing production. As I've said before, I've already gave my show rating to it. And there we go, everybody. Well, I can't believe that that now concludes the first edition of this brand new series, this first episode of Theatregoing Revival. But if you thought this was a brilliant start and quite the electrifying start to this series, we have still got loads more shows. If you did actually see the intro to our brand new intro to our new series of Theatregoing Revival, we've got a few little teasers of some future shows that we're going to go and see. And if you want to know a little bit more about some future shows that we're going to be seeing from later on this year, here's a little taste of other shows that you could be expected to see from later on this year, once again as part of the 10th year anniversary celebratory and 6th series on my theatre vlog review series itself of Theatregoing Revival.
Everyone! It's me, Justin here, with some very exciting news! My brand new show, Just in Time to Rock, will be going on tour, and we can't wait to meet all of our friends, you! It's going to be rocktastic! With lots of singing, dancing, and some special surprises too! Woohoo! Tickets are available now, so I'll see you there and get ready to rock!
Definitely come and see it. We were so impressed. It was amazing.
I loved it when the balloons came into the audience.
It was amazing. My son loved it, so we're more than happy.
I love the band members. They perform really well.
Little man really enjoyed it. Yeah, would recommend for everyone.
I thought it was really great.
I did my air guitar. Yeah, loved it all the way.
Wait, there's a Steps musical.
What's it about, you must be wondering? Well, it's time to begin. Now count it in.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Here and Now is a brand new British musical about 4 friends working in a seaside supermarket called Better Best Bargains.
Who one summer promised to help each other sort out their love lives.
But will their summer of love end in tragedy, or will they all take a chance on a happy ending?
Well, in Here and Now, who knows what love has in store?
Directed by the award-winning Rachel Kavanagh and written by Sean Kitchener.
It opened with a record-breaking run in Birmingham.
The Sun said it's the biggest jukebox hit since Mamma Mia. Bye-bye.
You'll hear all your favourite Step songs, including Tragedy, Stomp and Chain Reaction. And even if you've never bought one of our albums, you'll probably know most of them.
Well, we did sell over 22 million records worldwide. Did you not know that?
And if you want to move your feet, don't worry. The Olivier Award-winning choreographer Matt Cole has put his own spin on our iconic moves.
Here and Now is stomping across the UK and Ireland on tour, so don't miss it at a city near you.
It won't have you dancing in the aisles, it'll really get a hold on your heart.
Here and now, I wanna be the one.
Diehards, a lot of us, all packed into this glorious stretch of land they call Wembley Way. Proud to be it, proud to be one, proud to be English. 3 lines on our shirt, hoping and praying this will be the night that ends all the hurt. No rules today, no one's saying that you can't do anything, be anything. Bottles are being flung across the sky. People are swinging out from lampposts up high. We're throwing fences, flipping benches, police are getting jittery. We are gonna do Italy. My turn to do something crazy, my turn to be seen. To walk up on England's mountains green. This flare is going up my bum.
This is a passenger announcement. The station is now closing. Please go home.
Well, there you go, everybody. I think there is a very good lineup of shows that I've already got my eyes on going to see from later on as of this year. And one in particular, as you did actually see just now there, is one of the most highly anticipated musicals, which I feel like that as of at the end of this month will also, since we start the new month of March, it has been highly voted for many different awards and could be possibly tipped to be, I think, the most successful musical work to walk away with quite a few awards from this year's What's on Stage Awards at the London Palladium from the end of this month, and that being Paddington the Musical, based off the amazing, of course, books by the late Michael Bond, who brought the character of Paddington Bear to life. I am no stranger to, of course, this particular work already, with amazing music from the amazing frontman and one of the songwriters and guitarists of Tom Fletcher from McFly, and I've already heard a bit of the music already from the end of last year, following its being its world premiere on, unbelievably, Halloween from last year, would you believe, on the 31st of October 2025 at the Savoy Theatre, which is the very same theatre where, unbelievably, I saw Pretty Woman the musical with my good friend Ella Gretorix when it came back after the pandemic, originally from, I think it was at the... I think it was initially at the, I think the Lyric Theatre before it then was moved to the Savoy Theatre, and since then we've also had the West End production of Mean Girls also be there, but it's recently been replaced by the most highly successful musical currently at the moment in London's West End, it has to be said, and I'm really looking forward to covering that as I got tickets as well, also from my whole family, which you did actually see, of course. My dad, John Wright, my mum, Samantha Wright, and my sister Hannah were, of course, watching the incredible spectacle of the Mega Mix from earlier on in this edition of Theatregoing Revival with Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express. But also there is the likes of, unbelievably, another show that I covered a few years back when it was just starting to become a little bit more popular, and that is, pardon my language, Why I Stuck a Flare Up My Arse for England from Alex Hill, and due to its popularity, it has been very popular over in Australia recently, as it walked away being the best production at the Adelaide Fringe Festival, and also I think another one in Melbourne, I think also as well. So he's been very successful, winning awards with that, and he's also added some new visual aspects to the show as well. And also he has announced that he's going to be doing one final year of performances for this year, which is currently being performed in Melbourne, but from later on, as of this month in particular, he is set get to also a part of a farewell tour, as you meant, so it's very similar to the word farewell, but it was farewell in tying in with the title of the show of Why Sucker Fair Mask for England, and that also appearing at the Norwich Theatre, where unbelievably, even though I didn't cover the programme or the particular production, but if you may have seen it from our throwback earlier on in the programme, that I got to also see the UK touring production of James Graham's famous, of course, very popular and successful musical, not just musical, but it did have musical elements in it, but football themed straight play work of Dear England at the very same theatre. And initially I had plans to go to the UK touring production of Six the Musical at the very same theatre, but annoyingly at the end of last year tickets sold out almost instantly, so unfortunately I've missed out on that. But I'm hoping to get tickets to cover that particular show before, unbelievably, it's also, I can also confirm, it's also got a one-night only performance in the West End. I made a mistake last time when I covered it, because it was down in the south part of London at the Southwark Playhouse in the Borough part, just off Elephant and Castle part of London, and unfortunately I didn't get that much footage from it, but it was still a great show to cover, and I'm hoping to meet up with Alex again. I mean, I had a wonderful chat with him when I did do the show, when I went to see it, and it was just before England were about to play in the Euros back in 2024 in the summer, where we got to another final, even though we lost out to the overall champions of Spain. But it was an amazing achievement for the team, even though we had only just a few 1-0 wins and a very quite close 0-0 draw, and we unbelievably managed to save ourselves going out of the knockout stages with a last-minute equaliser overhead goal, kick goal from, once again, Jude Bellingham, and a great header goal in the first minute of extra time from Harry Kane. And it's amazing that in Dear England it actually was rewritten especially for that, because I also got to see it from just a few years ago as well, to bring you up to date, since once again Gareth Southgate once again is no longer now the manager for the senior men's football team of England, but now the German Thomas Tuchel has just recently been part of the team, almost over for an entire year, and in the next few, of course, weeks in the lead up to this year's World Cup, we've got a few friendlies lined up, and we've also got that also in plans as well, because we are also going to be covering some of the international football friendlies in the lead up to the tournament, and unbelievably one of them has to fall on my birthday, where I'm going to be celebrating and being 32 made that years old, unbelievably, and that will be against New Zealand of all teams, or who I know are very good in the world of rugby union. But it's very unusual to see us play the football side team of them instead to rugby. But anyway, of course, I have gone off topic with that. I feel like I've since just after we were looking back at the footage, I've literally had to get a bit of food to eat, because it was a very early one, as a lot has happened in the last good few hours of today, me covering this particular episode. But once again, as I said before, it has been an absolute pleasure to finally cover this show after so many years, and I never thought it would appeal to me, but we decided to take a punt at it, and when I found out I was going to get tickets from my parents as a Christmas gift from last year, it was such a wonderful surprise, and I've waited so long to finally see it, a good 3 months in particular, to finally see it, and without a doubt it was definitely worth the wait. That's all I'm going to say on that particular occasion. But with that being said, I think it's time for us to unfortunately close down, of course, and make that tying in with the world of Starlight Express. We are terminating the journeys that are going to be happening in the world of Starlight Express for this particular evening's episode of Theatregoing Revival. But as always, if you have enjoyed this edition and if you're happy to and very pleased to see me back for another series of Theatregoing Revival, despite having a year off due to other things in my personal life, don't forget to give this video a like and comment down below on your thoughts if you have seen the show yourself and what you thought of it as well. And don't forget also you can subscribe also to my official YouTube channel of Jackpot Button Lewis Productions, as you can keep up with future episodes of my theatre vlog series. And we have still once again got some great shows to be covering in this particular series, and if that one is anything to go by, we have still got some more amazing shows that we are going to be covering hopefully in the next few months of this year, and it's certainly definitely going to be must-watch viewing for all of you out there watching. So with that being said, thanks very much for watching this edition of Theatregoing Revival and my review of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express, the London production from the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre. And now to play us out from the very same production, let's have a bit of music and a medley of music from that very production to roll into the credits. And also we would like to quickly remind you, at the end of the last series, we forgot to change the title from Theatregoing Revival, which initially was down as Theatre See It Safely after the end of the COVID-19 pandemic, but we've managed to re-edit it now since we've had to start afresh with the titles again following some storage problems, and I had to delete a damaged cache of storage, which meant I lost a lot of hard work. But I've been using, I happen to reuse the same footage that I've done for the last few years since I've done this variation of the series. But it's definitely a pleasure to be back here as always, and I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon, covering another highly anticipated show or musical work here, whatever it will be next time, all here on Theatregoing Revival. Until then, I'm off to go and refuel myself and also relax, because my time on the tracks is officially done. And until then, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon for another episode of Theatregoing Revival. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. And don't forget, to all of you fans of the Starlight, starting from next Wednesday on the 4th of March, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Starlight Express will be having exclusive passenger fan nights once again from the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre, where these particular performances will include access to the skate warm-up from 5:20 p.m, a unique signed limited edition poster of the featured character of that particular performance, 10% off merchandise, and 10% off drinks and food from the bar, ice cream kiosk and Studio 5 restaurant, plus a free glass of fizz, make that champagne, or also a soft drink. These passenger fan nights are scheduled as follows. On the 4th of March for the character of Greaseball, on the 11th of March for the character of Rusty, the 18th of March for Dinah the Dining Car, and the 25th of March for the character of Hydra. For more information about these upcoming passenger fan nights, you can visit the official show page on Instagram under @Starlight Express LDN. Are we done? Woo! There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm a little bit hot here tonight, honestly. And it's not just from when I was wearing that costume earlier on. Goodness me. Well, incredible. Oh, it feels amazing to be back, honestly. I know I didn't get a chance to do that from earlier on, but there you go. What a great show to kick off the celebratory 10th year series of Theatregoing Revival, eh? And that really was one that that generally I have been so looking forward to finally seeing it, and now since I've already seen it, I was completely blown away by the production value. It was just pure escapism, honestly. And I know I may have said that for a few other shows, but that is the beauty of musical theatre, and especially with this particular work of Andrew Lloyd Webber is it's been a long time coming, honestly, and I know I've covered Andrew Lloyd Webber shows, or I'm no stranger to the works of his in previous years. I've had the pleasure of performing them at amateur level, obviously doing Evita at the moment as well, and Phantom of the Opera back in 2014 with a local theatre company as well. But Starlight Express was, dare I confess, not to rhyme it and everything, definitely was a must-see to finally get the chance to see it, and it was definitely worth the wait, and I would happily go and see it in a heartbeat. I hope that it won't be the last time I'll see it. Hopefully when it goes on a world tour later on this year, who knows? Hopefully it will only just be a one-off time just to see it, because that was a really, truly something special, that particular production, and I won't forget that for a long, long, long time. Amazing. Well, anyway, thanks very much, everybody. It's been a pleasure once again to come back here for another series. And if you honestly thought you enjoyed doing this, I know that we've only just started. We've only just scratched the surface with some new shows that we're going to be doing. And I hope that we can do a full series also to celebrate the 10th year anniversary of my series. Because, yeah, as I said, I can't believe I've come so far with this series, and with nothing else much to say, but I'm certainly looking forward to the next show covering it on this series already. Anyway, well done everybody. That is officially wrap on the first episode of the brand new series of Theatregoing Revival, the celebratory 10th year anniversary and 6th series, and covering the Andrew Lloyd Webber production of Starlight Express and the Troubadour Wembley Park Theatre London production episode of this particular series. And cut.